trust yourself, you to get through. Now you're on the other side, living life again. It was a wild ride out of the rain into the sun. Look, you've won.
Yip, 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 yip. Whoop, whoop. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. This is March 6th. I'm your host, Teresa, and this is my channel, Wounds to Wisdom. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, have a seat, grab a drink, and settle down. I am so excited. I didn't have time on Tuesday to be as appreciative, but I'm feeling incredibly blessed that I'm over 100 subscribers right now. And that's truly because of all of you. And so thank you so very much. And I would love to encourage you to share this channel, to subscribe. Good afternoon, Josh. So glad you're here. And I'm oh, hi, Ellen. Thank you for being here. I danced to you this afternoon. So I just wanted to say thank you. So you're just going to be making my day. Hey, Krumel. So I was just saying thank you to everyone for getting me to 100 plus subscribers. It means a lot. I'm new to this YouTube world. I'm trying to find my way and get acclimated. And so, yay. So thank you so much. So I'm going to pop back into me now and you'll just see my mug. And so a couple of things. I don't know how long today will be. I had not a traumatic life event that floors you, but on Tuesday, my car died in the middle of a intersection. And I have a history of heart problems. And for the last 2 days, I have been having extreme chest pains and throat pains. But I also was on Mr. Floyd's Universe with Josh. And oh my God, I can't believe I forgot her name. Josh, can you tell me what her name was? That lovely lady. Well, anyway, and my throat chakra is blocked. And I'm wondering if some of the chest pains that I'm experiencing really they're throat pains. And it throws me a curveball. And it just means that I have to slow down and I have to go into my breathing and I have to go into my meditating and I have to really be in my body because the last thing I want to do is call an ambulance for an anxiety or panic attack. Or because I'm loosening my throat chakra and I just have to go through some uncomfortable feelings. We talked last month about different symptoms women have for heart events, right? Whether it's a heart attack or some other heart misalignment. So sometimes what happens is it constricts and I can't always tell if it's real or Memorex. Hi, Eric. And so I did take a nitroglycerin, and for anyone who is aware or familiar with nitroglycerin, it basically stabs your brain in pain because it's opening everything. So, hey, Fatima. So, anyway, I'm thrilled you're all here. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about today was how do you find your inner peace? How do you recharge your batteries? So drop a note in the chat here. What do you do for yourself to recharge, to find that quiet space that you can go into when you're stressed, when you're hurt, when your feelings are hurt, when you've been exposed to some gobbledygook that impacts you and sort of shapes your mood into a non-positive place. And so I have a couple of thoughts that I've written down, but I don't know if anybody knows this book. This is called, I don't know, it's probably going to come backwards. Yeah, it's going to be backwards for you guys. I have to figure out how to change it so it doesn't look backwards. It's called Trauma Healing Journal. And it's a guided journal for mindful trauma recovery, right? And so there's lots of great things in this and prompts for working on your traumas, but it's also an encouragement. And so for me, the way that I like to decompress when I pay attention, and that's the key, right? We have to be self-aware. We have to be people that um, understand our bodies and pay attention to our bodies. So for me, I do meditation. I do deep breathing. I have really been getting into the chanting and using Om and other sounds as a means of one, opening my throat chakra. And for those of you that haven't gone to Ellen's channel, she does karaoke to some fantastic songs of my generation anyway. And it really does, you don't realize with singing a favorite tune or any tune at the top of your lungs, what that does to decompress you and bring joy. So Ellen, I can't thank you enough. I'm tickled pink that I found you and that Josh mentioned you today. Hey, Flick Fox. And yeah, feel free to listen. You do what you got to do. Take care of you. Um, and so that's one of the things that I do. So I do the deep breathing. I do a guided meditation more often than not. The other thing that I'll do is put on it's a chime meditation and wind and rain. And the chimes for me are angelic, heavenly, totally calms me as soon as I start to hear chimes. And then combined with nature, just puts me into that space where I can be healed. So it's something that for me works really well. And I highly recommend that. One of the things that I haven't been doing as much of, this is my excuse and the caveat, it's not a real excuse. So please know that I'm aware. But exercise. By not exercising, and I use the winter as an excuse this year. Oh, it's so cold. And it is cold. But guess what? I'm inside. There's no reason why when I'm watching TV during a commercial, I can't do squats. When I was helping folks with hypnotherapy and weight loss, I said to them, I said, just get in groove a little bit. And I'm sure you guys know, I'm going to forget the Disney movie. Somebody's going to know. You're going to know it. You got to move it, move it. You got to move it, move it. I can't remember the Disney movie, but that I would tell that to my hypnotherapy clients. And I'd say, look, just get up and groove for the whole commercial and shake your groove thing. Shake what your mama gave you. Wiggle and, flap your arms. I don't care. I was doing, specific exercises to build up my upper body because when they tried to resuscitate me, my chest really was really damaged, not beyond repair, but it was hurt for a long time. I mean, they were pounding on me for 15 minutes. So, that hurt. And I feel like my chest muscles when I am exercising or doing something, and I feel a little pull, that's another Madagascar. Thank you. I knew somebody would know it. And so it's one of those things that as someone has gone through 2 heart attacks and the second one taking, letting me die, allowing me that space and time to have a whole different experience. Um, but the recovery, when you feel a twinge, you're like, oh crap, do I need to call somebody? And so I just want to encourage that working out, and working out can just be 2 water bottles in your hand, coming above your head and walking and pumping your arms and squats and leg kicks. It doesn't have to be a full-blown anything. For me, I do need to, hey, Crystal, I do need to have more cardio. I know that. And I have gained a tremendous amount of weight in the last 2 months. And I didn't realize that until I got on the scale because I was feeling lethargic and I wasn't feeling myself. And I couldn't really hone into why, but I felt heavy. And I said, well, I don't look heavy. Well, holy macaroni, people. It really floored me at how much I gained. And I already had to lose weight and had lost quite a bit of weight. So the fact that I gained, I think it was 12 pounds, for me, that's a lot of weight. So exercise, and it also changes your mood. It boosts your endorphins. It allows you to sing and dance. Hey, Tiff, welcome, welcome, welcome. I don't know. Did I say hi to Carmel? Hello, hello. And so that's those are 2 things, right? Meditation, deep breathing. I say chanting, Om. I'm going to do more of that. One of my dear friends, she is a phenomenal singer. And she's going to help me with a tune that has been replaying in my head. And I really feel called to use that for my own meditative sound bath, if you will. And I know I've introduced Ben Carroll to you all, his channel. He uses singing bowls, and then he has this hauntingly melodic voice that seriously, I just don't have the words to describe him. And I meant to write to him the other day because he came out with a new tune. And I just wanted to tell him I'm bragging about him everywhere. Hey, Big Dad. So it's really using your voice in any way. And so the point of me telling you about my friend who her name is Cassie, I'm going to have her on anyway because she has a similar story, but how she's risen almost like a phoenix through the ashes. But her voice is really beautiful. And she also teaches voice lessons. And so when I had my heart attack and they intubated me, I can't call myself a singer, but prior to that, I could at least carry a tune pretty well. And I found that my vocal cords are not the same since being intubated. I would imagine with some skilled voice lessons, I may be able to recover some of that and use that in my chanting, in my sound bowl singing. And I would love to share that. So, yes. All right. So then, I just saw something in the chat. Hold on, guys, that caught my eye. What did you say? We will be listening, creating a memorial. Namaste, everyone. Love as well from both Seeker and I. Okay. I'm sorry. It sounds like someone has passed and you're creating a memorial, and I'm truly sorry for your loss. And you do what you have to do. And thank you for being here. I completely appreciate it. So, reading's another way of getting lost and decompressing. Now, what you read is totally up to you. I have friends that read comics, and I have no judgment there. Comics are incredibly imaginative and relaxing and engaging. And so if that can take your mind off of it, read your damn comics. Some people read the news. I don't find that helps me decompress. I've actually had to stop news for a period of time. That also causes me anxiety and panic attacks. Um, some of the other things, and we talked about music, you know, I also saw on Ellen's channel, and something that I have a huge passion for, that I have done a drumming circle once. She had a whole drum set. Um, but if you're a musician, jam out. You know, that is another way or means of relaxing. Now, if that is your career, that might not be for you because you need to do something else to chill out. But take the time to hear, feel, breathe, smell, engage with the music. And if you have a favorite podcast, try a comedy podcast. For God's sakes, we need to laugh. The one thing I'm going to talk about on Tuesday is journaling. And I have quite a few helpful hints about journaling because some people feel very uncomfortable just today's Tuesday, today's Thursday, this is what I did, this is what I ate, this is how I'm feeling. Okay, the end. I use a couple of different techniques to engage myself, and that's how I find my thoughts. I'm also, and have been for years, a writer, and I have written stories, but using this technique when I get stuck helps me therapeutically and from a perspective of telling a story. And each and every one of us has a story. And every single day, sometimes twice a day, we start a new chapter. We might do it 3 times a day, right? I mean, it depends on what is your world? Do you go to a job? Do you work remotely? Um, do you participate in charity events? Are you a community activist in some way? Do you deliver food? Whatever it is, you have different chapters in your day where people interact with you. And then creative activities is another way to decompress. So I really want to see the chat. Please put in, how do you decompress? Do you draw? Do you paint? Do you craft? Do you knit? Do you sew? Do you crochet? What do you do as a means of relaxing? The other thing that I want to talk about, so fill up that chat, people. How do you find your quiet space? It's different depending on where you are in your life. Do you have children? Do you have pets? You can see, I'm going to tilt my laptop down a little bit. This is my boy Biscotti. He doesn't leave my side. Luca's in the window on an ottoman. He's sleeping, but he's usually very alert for other dogs that might invade our house. He'll let us know if he sees one. But, do you have pets that either bring joy to your quiet space, or do they annoy you in a quiet space? So where do you go? I do have a friend who loves the bathroom because she can close the door and no cats and no dogs can come in and invade her space for a period of time. And she says to me, that's where I do my best work, my best thinking. And I can relate. I don't often have private time when you have a pet. I would imagine that is similar to young children. So do you have a corner in your house? Do you have someplace in your house that you use for quiet time? How many of you spend time in nature? When I walk the dogs or myself, near my home, there is a designated park, and it has the most beautiful river that flows through. And as you walk, you will encounter different spots to sit or to fish, to meditate, and you actually encounter different sounds in each spot. And I love it. And there is this gigantic tree that I love to go sit and lean against. Now, I can't do that right now because it's bloody. Well, today's not freezing, but it's wet and damp and not, conducive yet. But soon, really soon. And Do you live near a lake? Do you live near a park or the ocean? Even the mountains and the snow. I love when snow falls. That to me is very much inner peace, very much a space where I can dig deep. And the quiet of the snow, the coolness and cleanness of the snow is really magical to me. I love the night because I love the moon. I stare at the moon for a very long time. Um, I am enraptured by the moon and the stars that surround it. So for me, being outdoors is another magical space. So I'm just going to take a minute and pop into the chat and see um, who's here, if I've missed people, and then if anybody's responded. Paint with music, excellent. Writing poems, yes, Carmel, that does help. Um, let's see. Yeah, Ellen, I'm sorry, girl. I had to stop that news because I was becoming homicidal in nature. I was so angry. I am angry. I'm disappointed. Well, I don't want to go there. um, and so I see that Mish popped in. So thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. Um, and let's see. You practice mindfulness techniques you've been trying to develop. I talk about them all the time. Um, and so, um, yes, it's amazing. Um, let's see. Oops, my mouse got stuck. Yeah, Mish, look, find your quiet space. So wherever that is, wherever you're warm and comfortable and you feel loved and sort of insulated. Um, and getting out of the head. That's really what I think I'm encouraging people. And flick flocks, absolutely. It's really just trying to give yourself that peace. Hey, Millie, thank you for being here. Just a moment in time. So on Tuesday, we're going to talk about a technique that I have learned over the years when I was learning poetry as well. And I know that from a poet, Brian, he does a lot of poetry, but and I'm not talking from a professional. I'm talking therapeutic. I'm talking, evocative. How do you really, we'll go there on Tuesday. It's going to be a lot of fun. So please come on Tuesday. Have a pad of paper with you and a pen, of course. And it's going to be fun. And I find it incredibly inspirational because you don't know what you're capable of until you're challenged with an idea. And then your balls to the walls. Sorry if that's rude, but your balls to the walls, like excited and you're like, oh my God, I didn't know I had this in there. The other way to sort of find your quiet space, don't shoot the messenger, but put the phone down, put the iPad down, turn off the TV. One of the things that I have had to do is choose the days that I'm going to be on YouTube and watch all of you, my lovely friends. But I can't do that 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Yet I want to support my friends. And so I don't go live every day. I'm live Tuesdays and Thursdays. When this spring warmer weather kicks in, y'all will go along with me for my walking tours and my garden. Because again, for me, getting my hands in nature, in the earth, in the dirt with the worms and all the other healthy critters that are in the dirt is connecting to me, to Mother Earth, to God, to divineness. It's just magical what teems underneath our feet and our hands. And then again, we talked a little bit about mindful practices, but yoga, tai chi, um, qigong, these are movements that flow. And as they flow, you find your body start to relax that you didn't know that you could actually relax. And also, your mind is not working as hard. You're really just paying attention to motions. So, that's an opportunity. We've already talked about jamming out to tunes. I don't care the tune. Not, some people love headbanging music. And I think I talked a couple of weeks ago. There, I'm more sedate, but you give me a couple of rock tunes and I'm jamming like I am, a mad woman. And I think I was kidding around, but I'm dead serious. I love Chumbawamba. I love that you get knocked down and you get up again. And as soon as I get my voice back, I swear to God, I'm going to sing it because that's like my anthem. I've been kicked down enough. I'm getting back up, and you're not going to take it away from me. It's sort of a theme song. And there's a couple of older tunes. I'm 61, so my favorite kind of jamming in music came from sort of the 70s. Um, and so I'm an older girl, and I love the Frank Sinatras and the Dean Martins of the world as well. So, but then you give me some Pink, and I'm an insane girl because I love me some good Pink. So some of the other mindfulness techniques. So body scan meditation. And I've done this a couple of times on my channel, and I hope to do it more. Is excuse me, I'm so sorry for that. Yes, cooking. Oh my God. Cooking is another way of releasing stress, unless you're doing it for a family of, you're doing it for an event, but you're just doing it. Nothing gives me more delight than when I make butter. I love making butter. I love making cream cheese. I love making my red Italian sauce. I don't make meatballs as much anymore because it's just so much effort for one person. But I also am learning. I haven't mastered it. I have to be honest. Graham crackers. I love graham crackers. So being in the kitchen has always been a delight for me. I love the kitchen. And it has such happy memories for me. Cromel says, just walking his house. He lives in nature with a lake at 3 sides of your house. Oh my God, that's divine. Just given some of my health concerns, I've talked with my brother of moving closer to him. I'm not really physically near people that can help me if I have an experience like I did the last 2 nights, and indecisive. Do I call 911 or don't I? Do I just sit and experience the chest pains? Because are they chest pains or are they anxiety? Am I releasing shit because I've been doing tons of meditation? The smell of grass, Mish, is absolutely invigorating, and it's a happy smell to me. So yes, let me just go through a few more of these and I'll get back on track. Balance is not easy, Ellen. I mean, I agree. Balance is, it's something we have to make the effort. Why is it that everything in this world seems to we have to make an effort? But it's really called awareness. It's tuning into our higher vibrations and knowing that everything we do, everything we say, everything we feel, everything we think has a cause and effect. And if we feel, I want to be respectful, but if we feel like crap, is it because of the outside influences? Is it because of our body? And I don't want to, I'm having brain farts here. I don't want to just sit in the gloom and doom of not feeling great. I want to raise that to be, all right, this is an experience. Am I supposed to be feeling this? Is it an awareness technique? Is it something that I need to ground myself and get my root chakra into the earth? And, even if that means sitting on the couch and just scushing my tush down and paying attention to my root chakra and allowing my body to just be still and feel and breathe. And I have gone through in a previous video different breathing techniques. I'm going to bring it back. So hopefully you guys won't find it repetitive, but we can't breathe enough. I know that sounds silly because we do it every day. But our breath, we don't fully engage with our breathing throughout our days unless you're incredibly enlightened. Yes, Mish, chair yoga. Oh, wait, I just wanted, Tiff, chair yoga is one of my favorite things to do. Yeah, Mish, you've needed to unplug a little bit. And there are things happening in the world or in our communities or with our friends and people we love. There's some stress. One of the things I talked about earlier in the week is we can't live in that space. At some point, we just have to let shit go. If someone poops all over us, we get to sit in the poop or we get to pick it up and move on. I don't want to sit in it. I also don't want to rejoice in someone else's demise or, fall from grace, because my inner warrior and my inner wounded child wants to comfort someone that says, geez, I'm sorry you've stumbled and fell. But as a community or as individuals in a community, what we say, what we do, how we respond, how we react, how we discern can make or break a community. And in this particular situation for me, stepping away from social media, grounding in Mother Nature. The other night, I was standing outside just staring at the moon, trying to see if I could see all the planets. It helps me to know that there's stuff out there greater than me. Isn't that amazing? All right, where am I? I just want to make sure I'm not. I need to put this up. So Flick Flock says, I love the word, I think it's petrichor, a pleasant smell that frequently accompanies the first rain after a long period of warm, dry weather. Well, it's been a hell of a long time since we've had that. So, at least in my neighborhood. But yes. So anyway, I've never heard of that word either. I like the word petrichor. I've never heard of it, Millie, either. So I love adding that to my vocabulary. And not everybody does breathe properly. So we do need to slow ourselves down. We do need to find that rhythm and that pace for ourselves. Okay. Where am I in my notes to myself? So we've talked about mindful breathing. I've done that a million times. I will continue to do it. This is a little bizarre. Well, it's not bizarre. Mindful eating. So what I mean by that is a couple of things, right? We experience food. Don't inhale your food. Take a bite and literally chew it. How does it taste? What's the texture? You know what I mean? How does it smell? How does it feel? Appreciate the flavor of the food. Chew it slowly and savor each bite. Couple of things happen. You set off alarm bells in your body that respond so positively to what you're eating. If you're eating healthfully, and that's the other key, putting in organic veggies, putting in vegetables that you may not have eaten before. So I was not much of a turnip girl, and I put that in my carrot ginger soup, and I swear it added a layer of deliciousness. Um, and because it was a soup and I didn't want anything else in it, so I really blended it up. It was almost like mashed carrots, but a little soupier than that. The texture, the scent that came out of the soup from the ginger, the fullness, it was absolutely magnificent. Um, I made the other day, um, instead of using meat, I just used some beans and some rice and a bag of steamed veggies, and I mashed everything together. And it was like a delightful experience for me because I hadn't been eating many vegetables. Um, and it was just delicious, and it slowed me down. And it also helps me to want to appreciate where this food came from. That's why I like gardening. That's why I like growing my own food. And if I moved towards my brother, that was the one condition, is I had to have space for a garden. Well, there's two conditions: space for the garden, space for the dogs. Um, and I need to do a little bit more homesteading because I don't see, and this isn't, being Debbie Downer, but I don't see our food prices really reducing. And if America has to start paying attention to growing their own food again, selling their own food, it's going to take time to refurbish, replenish, revitalize the soil on our earth because we haven't been taking care of it. And I like when I grow something, I know what's in the soil for the most part. There's a meditation I haven't done with you guys yet. It's a loving kindness meditation where we focus on sending feelings of love and kindness to ourselves. We can also send it to others. But one of the phrases that I like to use is, may I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe. May I be happy, may I be healthy, may I be safe. And I do this through a hypnotic meditation, if you will, because one of the things that we have learned through hypnosis when you're trying to change behaviors and patterns is by repeating 10 times. So in my brain, sometimes out loud, I may start out loud and then go silent. May I be happy, may I be healthy, and may I be safe. And then I can expand it out to those that I love. And one of the things that Josh has reminded me is you need to close that circle. So sealing that wish, if I'm sending it to someone else in the world or to their higher self, because, that's also, we learn this in Reiki. I've learned this in other healing techniques. There's a blessing, right? I want to give somebody a blessing. You may not be in the space right here with me now to receive that blessing. But if I send it to your higher self and I say, if I'm just going to use myself because I don't want to use anybody's name without permission. If Teresa is meant to receive this blessing, please allow her to receive love, light, healing, joy, companionship, whatever the blessing is. In my prayers, I use amen to close my prayer. I can do that with this, or one of the things that Josh says is he seals it. And I really like that. He seals it. And I'm not stealing this from Josh. You have to watch him on Mr. Floyd's Universe. He's got this method in this way, and he uses his hands so to seal things. But for me, I sort of put my hand on my heart and seal it closed because I'm sending it with genuine love and light. Hey, John, Hockeytown John, nice to see you. There's also something called, and I'd love for you guys to tell me, has anyone done the 5 senses exercise? So what is it? So it's for you to take a moment and focus on what you're experiencing right now through each of your five senses. So list, whether on paper or just in your mind, five things you can see, four things you can touch, three things you can hear, two things you can smell, one thing you can taste. Has anyone ever heard of this? It's a beautiful exercise because again, it's mindfulness, right? Um, it's you're mindful of, well, what are the things I can see and touch and smell and hear and taste. Um, so I'm just curious if any of you have heard of this. We also talk about mindful walking. So you're paying attention to each step. You're noticing how your feet feel on the ground. I have to be honest, I'm not as good with this one unless I'm on a beach. But I use this in my meditations when I'm on a beach. And I can notice and I can really feel the sand on my feet when I'm in that meditative state. Um, so and then using, for me, I use guided imagery, and I've done that with you guys on this channel. The other way to recharge your battery is sleep. Now, I follow Truth Wave, Victor. I don't know if anybody does. And every morning he's so happy and he's so joyful, and he talks about how he had this great sleep. And I'm a little bit envious because I'm lucky if I get 2 hours at a time. Last night I got 4 hours in a row and I was tickled pink. The dogs didn't need to get up and tinkle in the middle of the night after their last bit. I didn't have to get up until 4 o'clock in the morning. Um, so, it's amazing if you can get a good night's sleep. And I've really worked hard not to use sleeping medication because I'm sure I dream, but there's no way for me to be aware. And for me right now, dreaming is is healing, and I want to allow that experience. Hydrating, people, nutrition, those are ways to recharge our batteries. We've talked about that a little bit. Um, as much water as you can drink, or tea if that's the liquid you like. I would go easy on the caffeine if you can. Um, uh, I've been adding ginger. Is it ginger? No, it's a honey ginseng tea um, that I love with drops of honey in it. So it's really, I find it thirst quenching. We've talked about physical activity. Short breaks. So again, this is hard for those that have full-time 8-hour jobs or 10-hour jobs, and you don't get these breaks. When I used to have to travel for my job and I was stuck in airports, I walked the airport in order to, one, keep moving because, I could only sit for so long. I didn't want to shop in the airports. And um, there was only so much eating you could do, but it was physically moving myself through the airports, and tuning into the best that I could to the energy around me, and then almost like a clap, shutting it out. It was a really interesting experiment, but I would take breaks during my in between flights of just doing this pacing through there. We talked about hobbies. We talked about dancing. The other one that I think can't be overemphasized is social connections. Spend some time with your friends and your loved ones. I'm going to throw this out there, and you don't have to answer right now in the chat, but I would love a comment afterwards. I would like to start um, some sort of. I had a whole thought for it, but like a Sunday Zoom where we just kibitz, we just chat. We just check in with each other. It doesn't have to be serious. We could talk about a favorite movie. We could talk about a favorite book. It's a different way of communicating than what I'm doing now with you. Um, and it's a way of us building friendships um, when we may not have the opportunity in our actual social world. Um, the other thing that I would encourage people in my very small town, we do make a community effort to do things. There's an artist community. Um, they have a free dance on Saturday night. And I am going to work the courage up to go. I don't typically like to go to these things by myself, but it's going to be some really great music. And I can be an observer. And that's kind of how I want to present it to myself. And then if I make conversation, odds are I'm going to run into somebody I know. And I don't really not like anybody in my community. I don't necessarily hang out with them. But, it's one of those things that, yes, I really like the idea of physically leaving my home for an hour or two. And we've already talked about nature. So let me just circle back to the chat and then I'm going to let you guys go. Um, so let me just scroll up a little bit. I didn't stop where I was. So Mish says, the best thing to bring me back in from disassociating is logical thinking. I don't do that when I go. If I'm able to catch it early, I can focus on being present. Um, Sometimes that helps. Absolutely. Um, and then, oh, we've been looking for volunteers to do meets weekly. Many of us would rather do those and not worry about the like promotes. I don't know if I understand it, but I can talk to you offline. Go ahead, Tiff. You do your thing. Absolutely. And I just, for me, one of the other things in this healing trauma book that it talks about for self-care healing ideas, obviously go for a walk, meditate, journal, yoga, read a book. Holy crap, these are things that we've talked about. Take a nap, which I'm a huge proponent of. This one, and I think Ellen's a kindred spirit on this, dance like no one's watching. Social media detox, listen to happy music and sing. Keep a gratitude journal, spend time with a friend, take a long bubble bath. And I haven't done that in a long time, actually. And I don't think that's feasible with my 2 pups. Eat a sweet treat. So that I'm really good at. I love to bake. So, because my car died, I've had a lot of people that I've had to ask for help. So I baked a whole bunch of beautiful cupcakes. I'm going to ice them tomorrow and deliver cupcakes, but I'm saving 2 for me. And then the other thing that I think is underrated is getting up for the sunrise. Mamma mia. Seeing the sun come up in the morning is like a reminder. It's a renewal. It's a new day. It's a new opportunity for us to just have a new experience and a new experience for love, to be loved and to give love. And then find some affirmations that work for you. I know, and I've heard from some people, it's a little bit corny sometimes, but my struggle in life doesn't define me, and I don't want that to be my mantra. So I am enough as I am. I am enough as I am. I tried my best today. That's another affirmation. So if I failed 5,000 times, I tried, and that needs to be acknowledged. I am worthy, which is something I have to repeat all the time. I can achieve my goals. I love myself. Negativity will not affect me. And this is the other thing that I just want to encourage people. If you're somewhere witnessing, watching, participating, and it's negative, step out. There's no purpose there for you. What is it bringing you, the receiver? If it's not bringing you something, tap out, people. We have to know when enough is enough and step out. Go where there's love. Go where there's light. Go to YouTube and type in the word puppy or kitty cats or dolphins or someone like snakes or, whatever. Go to a channel that's going to bring you a moment of love, of calmness, of glee. And so the other thing that I like to repeat to myself is I forgive myself. And this is the Ho'oponopono. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. That can be to a person or yourself. Thank you. Thank you for the lessons that I learned today. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I didn't live up to my full potential today. Please forgive me. I will not do that again tomorrow. And I love you for giving me the space to learn that lesson for today. So we need to find a way to be gentle with ourselves, people. And so, I just want to say thank you so much for the 100 subscribers, for tuning in, for being a blessing to me on so many levels, for participating. And I really do, this is one of the things that I think we have to all be better at with each other in our chats is let's engage in that. I love that we say hi to each other, but you have a voice and you have opinions, and I love when you share it in the chat. And if you could, for those of you in the replay, if you could put a comment in afterwards, that would be amazing. If you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. If you liked or didn't like the video, please give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And if you didn't like it, that's okay. Hate is not welcome, but I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And that's okay too. I'm just reading. Hold on. What did you say, Mish? Dun, 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 dun. Am I missing something here? Hold on. I'm coming up. I'm scrolling. Sorry. I don't always work as fast reading the comments and it's not moving for me. Okay. All right. So I just got that from Mish. And then, yes, following my steps, grounding, earthing sheets helps. Yes. And then the meats are for those. Where did it just go? Hold on. It's very odd in Restream scrolling. It's not very easy. Come on. The meats are for those who really just want connection, not concerned with algorithms. I see. Yes, I do know that I was actually on with Cosmic Connection yesterday, and there were some people that really needed a meeting. And so we tapped out, and she was able to do a Google Meet for people that needed, a more intimate, safe environment than this open space. I'm seeing people say thank you, Christy, but I didn't even see Christy here. So hello, Christy. And thank you guys. So love to everybody. All right. Again, thank you for the 100 subscribers. I send you so many blessings and love and light. And oh well, sorry, Jimena, we're shutting down, girl. I'm sorry you missed it, but I send you all with so much joy. Signing off with love.
Ooh, it's okay to let go. You're not alone. Stand your ground, take it slow. The way you've been shown, trust yourself, you to get through. Now you're on the other side, living life again. It was a wild ride out of the rain into the sun. Look, you've won.